there's a difference between the male brain and the female brain. And the male brain wants to do stuff like go, go, go. So if we're sitting here and, you know, you're going, we should take this and move this wall and do a thing. The feminine mind actually feels like we did something, whereas the male mind is like, we haven't done anything. We just keep talking about this thing that we're not doing.
Interesting to hear him speak about the differences in how women think versus how men think. And this is something that, you know, this is not new science, right? The studies for this distinction has been relevant for decades now, but it's something that we've chosen to overlook. And I think in large part that is we can attribute that to what he will discuss in this video, which is that we're more concerned now with optics and how things may be perceived versus how they actually are. And that is the feminized society that we have unfortunately arrived at. I mentioned it in the last video here that women gravitate more towards these particular jobs, whether it's secretarial work, administrative, teaching, right? These are professions where they can be presented with a syllabus and the process is already outlined for them. And so they can follow that to a T and complete these tasks. And in that video, I likened it to the memories that more often than not people have about these teachers who made a subject fun, like the science teacher who did this cool experiment. This is someone who would have been going off script, so to speak, right? But they recognize a need for the students to have a more practical approach to science, just as an example. And many of us have that vivid memory of that science teacher. And in large part, it's usually a male teacher that does this because he tends to focus less so on the process itself and more, how can I improve this, right? How can I improve their understanding of this subject? And so he'll perform some sort of experiment to sort of wow the students and get them intrigued into what it is that they are learning. More often than not, that is a male teacher that does this, because women tend to follow the process, and men tend to sort of go against the grain and push boundaries, more often than not. Obviously, this puts us in trouble many of the times, right? Our penchant for going outside the norm, but it has both positives and negatives, right? And this is in one instance a positive for education.